It's still there, real bad. Yeah, you can hear it grinding and juddering as you're shifting. This is the worst Ferrari I've ever bought. Potentially one of the worst cars I've ever bought.
Might have bought myself a Ferrari that I don't want. Let's go check it out. $42,000 on the high bidder on this car. And the more I look at it, the worse it gets. Well, I might have got my hands into our next Ferrari project. And when I say project, I mean project. I have an if bid on it. If bid meaning I'm the high bidder on it, not like it's below the seller's reserve. Obviously, $42,000 on a Ferrari is cheap, but we will see if we get this thing. Who knows? We'll find out. I'm just gonna go check and see if we end up getting it. I kind of hope we didn't. But I won't leave you on a cliffhanger. I will come back to this clip in just a second to let you know if that, I hope it's not mine. I don't need that garbage in my life, but how do I do this stuff? We will find out shortly.
Earlier that day.
Well, I think I accidentally bought Samcrac's Ferrari. If you've been following along my channel, you know that I did a series called Flipping $400 to a Ferrari, where I ended up with a Ferrari 360 Spider. Convertible in red, 40,000 miles. Very, very nice car. Sold it, lost money on it because values have changed. Well, now we have a little bit of Ferrari money to continue the series. This car just ran through a dealer auction today, and guess who was the high bidder? And guess who didn't do his research? I made an Instagram story talking about this car, and so many of you reached out and said, Craig, don't buy that car. That is Samcrac's car. It's at the auction for a reason. Don't buy that car. Too late. I'm the high bidder. And in one of my last videos, I left it open-ended saying I have an if on this car. I will tell you if I want it or not at the end of this video. I never told you. So I'm gonna tell you what happened and go through this car today.
This noise, which happens upon deceleration, sounds like an extremely sad string instrument. Somebody decided to put gravy in the gearbox. The beautiful refreshed Ferrari engine, I looked at it as one giant pile of cash, and that's when I really lost interest in ever fixing this car. This time helped buy me out of the car. With all the recent inflation and collector car boom, even junk specialty cars were worth way more than they were just a few years ago. So I was able to sell this Ferrari to a wholesaler with a disclosure for just a small loss.
So I want to pause this video and explain something to you. So at dealer auctions, the way it works is green light means it's sold with kind of a warranty, kind of a guarantee. So till 5 o'clock, they will guarantee motor and transmission. And then after that, it's yours. It's too bad, it's as is. Red light means too bad, it is as is, it is sold, it is yours. No matter what, you are obligated to buy it. If you don't pay for it, too bad, you're never allowed back at that auction again. You'll lose everything. So you're just stuck with it, you gotta buy it. So I'm on the hook with an if bid. An if bid means I'm the highest bidder, but I didn't meet the seller's reserve. So now the seller has till the end of the day to accept my high bid, and if he counter offers, then I have the right to refuse it. So I'm stuck with this car if he accepts it. If he declines the offer, then I get to say, no, thank you, I don't want it. But the ball is completely in his court with an if bid. So you really don't want if bids, but the good thing about an if bid means like your figure is low according to the value of a car. So right now I'm at $40,000-ish plus fees, plus shipping on a car that I really don't want that could quite possibly cost me double. So what I'm hoping right now is that the seller either counter offers me or just turns down the offer. First things first, I'm gonna walk through this car and show you the damage. So the front bumper, the fiberglass, all cracked up right here. Terribly, badly. Then we have paint fade. So this is obviously, is it the original color? I don't know. I say obviously, I don't even know, but it's severely faded throughout the entire car from the Florida sun. Headlights, extremely faded and oxidized, no big deal. That can be paint corrected. Even that I can fix in-house, not a terrible idea. These wheels were not on his video, so these are a new set of Villano wheels. Calipers, decent shape. Rotors, decent shape. Wheels, I can restore them. Now with my Ferrari 360 video, I made a video about the paint protection film. I despise paint protection film, and I have 7 million views of me taking a razor blade to the Ferrari. If you look at this paint protection film, all right here, it's like that is gonna be a lot of work to get that off. It's on the mirror too. This is hardened, like this is not peeling off. and then it goes down here as well, hardens all right here, not coming off. Obviously we have some fiberglass damage there too, and then flat tires and highly corroded wheels. Faded paint on the door handles, the clear coat's faded. The black has chipped off completely on the window rails. You have a cracked windshield. What does a windshield cost on a Ferrari? Going down the dash, all the way down the dash is highly warped. Back panel I don't believe is stock. I think mine was color matched, or maybe mine wasn't stock. Missing the Ferrari horses, the prancing horses. The emblems are still here. And then going down the back, I don't know, this thing is just rough. And I'm the high bidder on it. I have an if, meaning I could potentially have to own this thing. Paint protection film corroded there. Clear coat faded here. Paint protection film completely oxidized and hardened. Again, paint on the window rails just has come off completely. Wheels damaged, headlight oxidized. Going to the inside, I think it gets worse. Now that is where the battery location is. Typically it's tucked up behind there, and there's normally a panel that folds up that hides the battery. The leather in black held up pretty well. It's not all cracked up, so the interior is actually in decent shape. This right here goes to, where does that go? That looks like a sill panel. The headliner is completely missing. So what does a headliner on a Ferrari cost? And then that back panel, so that right there must go right there. Windshield is cracked all the way across, not just the dash up there, but the airbag is warped and actually has a staple in it. The rubber buttons usually wear off on this car. They are sticky and they are all scratched up. The shifter is all scratched up too. The F1 paddles are all scratched up as well. Speaker panels are missing and broken. This is sticky right here and all scratched up too. The door doesn't open, which was a problem on mine. We had to get new cable connectors, actually new cables, which weren't terrible for this car, but that's an issue on the Ferrari 360s. Should open from right here. Yeah, there we go. The door, and I can hear the fuel injectors kick on, or the fuel pump. So I opened the door and I heard the fuel pump kick on, so that's a good sign. What do you call a trunk on a rear mid-engine car? The trunk, whatever, I opened it, the lever's right there. See if this old girl will start. The key is locked in this, so I can't even start it to find out if it's gonna run. This is a gamble. Missing a button right here. Under the dash is the lever right here. It's hidden. That is for your trunk or your frunk. And in the frunk, nope. No toolkit, no inflator, no spare parts, no car cover, and everything is broken. This is really, really rough. Oh God, Craig, come on, man. Go to the engine. So we're missing some trim panels here and here. It's pretty dirty, but it's not corroded. The valve covers are usually all corroded, chipped, and peeling. It's in pretty good shape. You can see everything's starting to chip off here from the fluids. I think the engine was cleaned based on videos, so there's no fluids leaking anywhere, but I think only because it was cleaned. Why do I love beaters so much? The wheels, beat, calipers, beat, needs brakes, curbing on the lower fairing. PPF is all cracked, paint fade everywhere, black chipped off, paint fade here, probably paint fade here, yep, paint fade here. PPF is going to be a pain in the butt. Maybe get another couple million views scraping a Ferrari with a razor blade again. What does it cost to replace a Ferrari windshield? Dashboard is all warped, and it gets worse. The front bumper all cracked. And I'm pretty sure that isn't the original color. That looks like it was just kind of the original color that has faded in the Florida sun for 20 years. 23 years. This is a 2001 Ferrari 360 Modena with 34,000 miles. Well, I'm on standby. I don't know if I got the Ferrari or not. We have to wait all day to find out.
A few hours later.
So I explained to you briefly earlier, the if bid means they had till the end of the day to counter offer me or accept my bid, which holds me to that vehicle. It could potentially be mine and I cannot back out of it. Now, if he counter offers, I can say no thank you, it is not mine, which is what happened. So at $40,000, I was the high bid. There was no one else bidding against me. Honestly, for a Ferrari, that's probably the cheapest Ferrari 360 I've ever seen, but for good reason now that I know the history of it. Now, the benefit of me being like a YouTuber or content creator or whatever is I only knew that was Samcrac's car and the backstory because of you guys. So somebody reached out to me, actually a lot of you reached out to me on Instagram and said, don't buy that, there's a backstory, here's the video. That's how I learned about this car, which actually made me even more nervous because now I'm tied to that car, I'm on the hook for it, knowing the bad news about that car. So luckily the seller, the wholesaler that Samcrac sold it to, he must have paid more than $40 for it. He owns it for too much money or more than I wanted to spend on it. He counter offered me. I said no thank you. I am off the hook. I do not own Samcrac's disaster Ferrari. Thank goodness, dodged a bullet on that one. If you guys like this content, please follow along. I actually read the comments, so I'm trying to transition down to Florida, which is where I am right now. I'd like to know what type of content you guys want to see. I read the good, I read the bad. I know you don't want to see certain things, and I'd like to know more of what you want to see. It can't just always be car flip videos, so if there are other things you want to see, please tell me in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and a like is always just a favor to me. It helps boost the algorithm of my videos. I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching. Adios.